Panther.
Here we go. In 5, 4, 3.
This is the Panther Pride Show on TV 24. I'm John Holder, along with the head coach of the Walter Wellborn Panthers, Coach Jeff Smith. This is week number 10 of the Panther Pride Show. Coach, that is hard to believe. You began in what they call week 0 in the Alabama High School Athletic Association, went straight through 10 weeks, which means you end the season, the regular season, a week earlier than most folks. It also means you went straight through 10 weeks, but the regular season is over with now. And Coach, it's just hard to believe that another football season is now in the books.
Well, they seem to get faster every year. Football season to me is like Christmas. You wait all year long to get there, and it seems like it's over as fast as it got. As soon as it gets there, it's over.
Coach Smith and I are exactly like that. We've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
We have this conversation all the time about how much we love football. He made the comment about Christmas time and how football season's like that. I'm the same way. I know most Wellborn fans are like that as well. Coach, this past week you closed out the regular season, going on the road to Piedmont to take on the team that looks like they're going to win the region championship now in Class 3A Region 6 in Piedmont. Piedmont wins the game 54-27. But again, with this young football team, only 3 seniors, no starters on the team that you're going to be losing. This was a lot of positive things that still came out of the game Friday night.
Oh, especially the start of the game. I thought we came out of the gate and, again, played the first 5 minutes of the game really strong. They got a lot of depth, and, they started 9 seniors on offense and 7 seniors on defense. And of those 16 seniors, none of them go both ways. So they got an old team and with a lot of experience and has played a lot of football games. And, it showed as the game went. But I was proud of our players. I thought they fought hard, played hard, and didn't quit, didn't lay down. And again, like you mentioned, they're all back. We had 43 players on the team this past year, and 40 of the 43 will be back on the team. So we're excited about that.
We will be back in just a moment to take a look at first half highlights of Piedmont and Wellborn as the Panther Pride Show continues here on TV 24.
Alabama changes. They go from Russell to Nike. They still look like Alabama, and that's the way we've got to be. I don't want to change.
I don't think Alabama will ever change. I know as long as Coach Saban's there, they're going to change.
No.
And I don't think it'll ever change.
Well, and Auburn hadn't either. They might wear different colored cleats every now and then, but they're still the same.
I don't like watching these teams. Like watching that LSU Mississippi State game. LSU had this crazy helmet on, these jerseys.
And why does LSU never wear their purple jersey at home?
It's just a tradition.
Yeah, but
they got Spurrier made him mad that one time. He came down there and he wanted to wear his home. He wanted to wear the white so LSU could he just gigging them, trying to get in their head and stuff like that. But that's just been a long time tradition at LSU to wear the.
I went on a recruiting visit to LSU when they played Georgia, and Bill Armsberger was their coach, and they had on purple jerseys home then, though.
Yeah, I think there was a time there where that may have been Georgia coming in there making them do it. Saying no, we want to wear our white.
Might have been.
I don't know.
Mike Archer was my recruiter.
They have to have them. They don't wear them often. But when they go to like bowl games, neutral site games, stuff like that,
they may have to.
Where they may have to, so they have them for that. But
Mike Archer, who was the head coach after Arnsberger, he was my recruiter.
Yeah.
So
I saw a picture of him the other day, and you would not even recognize that.
Really?
And he
looks
like totally different. Just like he's always had the mustache, but it's like this. he's just totally different looking.
Let
I saw a
himself go.
picture of him. I was just, yeah, I mean, he's got big, and he just looks different. It's just like a friend of mine, he sent me, we were talking about him the other day on the phone. He said, he looked him up and he texted me a picture and said, here's what he looks like. He's coaching somewhere. Doing something on the, seems like he's at seems like he's on staff at like Pittsburgh or somewhere.
Where are they?
Somewhere up east. He's an assistant. Ready?
5, 4, 3.
Back on the Panther Pride Show here on TV 24. Time to look at first half highlights of the Piedmont Walter Welborn game from the Field of Champions up at Piedmont. And Coach, as you mentioned, coming through the sign here up in Piedmont, you got off to a very, very good start Friday night.
Well, we had a good kickoff return right here. Jet gets the opening kickoff, and we hit a good wedge right there and hit a seam right there, and we get the ball about midfield to start the game off. We come out there and we run a double handoff. We're doing out of shotgun now right there to Calvin, and he gets a good run, had some good blocking out in front of him. Here, this was a quarterback sneak, and we're not being denied. We're getting the ball down there probably about the 12-yard line. Right here, we hit a play in there, and our buck sweep, and Calvin carries it in. We're up 7-0 to start the game off, and 4 minutes off the clock. They came up here and they sealed the edge right there and hit a swing pass, and boy, that number 7, he's fast, and Jet was able to get over there and get him down. Again, here, this is a Piedmont's base play right here. We call it 36 reach, and man, they when they've got to have a play, they run this, and they're very good at it. So they tie the game up. So we played half a quarter, 7-7. Again, they hit that swing pass right there, and they got a lot of speed, and Contreras was able to make a good tackle for us. Here they catch us right here. I mean, just that receiver that they got there at number 10. I don't know his name just to call him out right there, but he's a tremendous player. Here we're trying to get the ball out right there, and they covered our underneath route. We tried to throw it down to our flag right there, and the defense back stepped out in front of Jet right there and got a good pick. Again, they're reaching the edge right there and getting that swing pass on us right there. We made an adjustment on it and shut it down later, but right the first of the game, that was hurting us on us. And this was a quarterback draw, and we had a good stunt called on it right there, and we just actually ran right by the quarterback then. Right here, we punt the football here, and we have not given up a return all year long, and here they return the football, but it's brought back here because they have a block in the back here. I don't know if the film will show it, but they did, and they had to bring it back. Here again, that's that play that they've got to have. Jet came over there and made a good tackle for us. Again, here they fake the speed sweep right there and hit that big receiver again right there. And I mean, he's tough. He's very good, and he's a lot bigger than what he looks like on film too, in real life. Here, Kavion Wesley has a good kickoff return, and we kicked out. We had to do kickoff return several times because they scored several points, but we did a good job on it and got some good field position. Here, the number 27, he's one of the few sophomores that are playing, and he had a good run. And again, they throw the ball out there to that number 10, and he's just tough. Here, Taekwondo comes in there, and we're trying to block a field goal right before half, and we got close to it, but that was the halftime score, is 29-7.
And coaches, we've seen all season long from your team, not only just in the games in the season, but also within the games, a no-quit attitude, positive things happening in the second half. We'll watch second half highlights coming up in just a couple of moments, but the resiliency of your team has been really impressive this year.
Well, they're fighters, and our defense, we against Piedmont, they started 9 seniors on their offense, and we started 7 sophomores. Ideally those sophomores would still be playing, B-team football, but with us having few numbers in our senior class, they've been forced to play at an early age. We hadn't had double-digit seniors in 6 years, and we're looking forward to this year finally having that.
When we come back, we'll take a look at the second half, a very even second half. A lot of good plays coming up for Welborn in the second half. As we go to the break, we'll let you look at the Walter Welborn High School Highlander Band once again, their final performance of the 2018 season at the Field of Champions in Piedmont.
1, 2, 1, 2, ready, play.
we were 5-5, and we were actually 2 points from being 7-3 and in the playoffs with this younger team we had. But as far as the football season, you know, working with the band, working with the cheerleaders and the team, you know, and our student body this year, it's been a very enjoyable year, and it's sad to see it come to an end because it's been an enjoyable year.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, some years you're like, man, I'm glad that one's over, but this year's been one of those that, you know, we really didn't want it to end.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's exciting when you got the future that y'all have got to look forward to. You just kind of wish you could go ahead and start the season.
yeah, you do.
Again,
but
you know.
I will say this too, you know, like me and Jet was talking Saturday, and we went up and we talked to the youth kids, you know, before they played their last game, and you know, and I don't know if it's not better for us to end now and get back in the weight room.
Bigger and stronger.
Yeah, because we're still so young, you know. We gotta, you know, we from that game till May is 6 months. We'll see the most growth out of this team ever.
These guys are about to hit the growth spurt.
That's it. That's it. We're fixing to start seeing it from them.
Physically growth spurt.
Yeah.
All right. We ready when you are, Josh? Back on the Panther Pride Show here on TV 24, second half of the Piedmont Walter Welborn game. And Coach Smith, we talked about the resilience of the team. We're going to see that here in the second half. Really even second half and a lot of big plays from your team coming up here in half number 2.
Yeah, I thought we did play well in the second half, and we also was able to play a lot of players during the second half right here to get them ready for next year. They had a good kickoff return right here to start the second half off, and you know, and broke a good run on us to, you know, to start the second half off. You know, but that's one area that we've got to improve on this year. I think the one area that we lacked the most was our kickoff coverage this year, and I feel like we'll get better at that. Man, that receiver's good. You know, right then, you know, I thought at the time we didn't cover him as well as I thought, but we were 5 yards off of him right there, and he made a move and got by us right there. And he's a very, very good player. Here they kick off to us here. How many times have you seen a ball bounce around like that and the player pick it up and the coverage just ran by him and he has a good run? And that's exactly what happened with Kavion right there. And look, that's the first year Kavion Wesley's ever played football, and he ended up helping us a good bit this year and help us more. Calvin's back right there, he's 10th grade tailback. Here, Contreras was a fullback leading out right there in front head right there, and then Calvin carried it into the end zone. And I like the enthusiasm, even though we was down right there. You know, he's excited, him getting into the end zone, and he's excited about it. Here, right there, we didn't have enough pressure on the quarterback, and of course he got the ball loose down through there, and you know, we just didn't have enough pressure. They blocked us. Here they kick off, and again we're gonna have another good return right here. Come up through here again, Kavion, another good return here. Again, he's a first-year player. He's a junior, going to be a senior next year, and he played basketball for us last year, and we got him here. Look at Contreras here, 10th grade running back here. Good hard run right there, trying to fight with the ball, and he fumbled it into the end zone here. And look, this player for Piedmont, he brings this thing all the way back out for a 100-yard return. And you know that. What do? You know, Contreras was real upset after that. I told him, I said, if I could take that off of you and put it on me, I would. But, you know, it happened, and, you know, he'll learn from it. Here we come back here. This is the next drive right there, and Calvin takes it here and gets a real good run here, and the guy catches him down here about the 5-yard line. And if you can tell right there, they still got plenty of their first-team guys in there, and then we scored here, and I think we went for, kicked their extra point, and it ends up being 54-21. Kick off to them. All right, we get down here. I think yes, he gets this thing about to midfield right here, but you see the effort right there of Christian Figueroa, another 10th grader, and gets him down right there, and we ended up getting a turnover. And here's Josh Rittenhouse right here. He's back next year. He was our backup fullback, gets a good run. Now they're playing backups, and we're playing backups too, and we ended up scoring on their second team, and ended up being a 54-27. But the film was we still had played some more players in it, and everybody that we dressed out Friday night that was able to play. We were able to play in that game, and I was just real thankful for us to get that, that experience for the last ball game of the year.
One of the things from talking with you this year, every week here on the Panther Pride Show, what you wanted to see and what I think you saw throughout the season was improvement. That showed up in the record. 2-8 last year. You go to 5-5 this year. Lost 2 games, 2 region games by a point each. One play goes either way. You're a playoff team. You're looking at a 7-3 record. So obviously improvement was the name of the game at Wellborn this year, and we saw a lot of that.
Well, with us having the team back like we do right there, then you can really make improvement with them. Like I mentioned, we need to get better on our kickoff coverage. Well, everybody knows what I'm talking about because they all played last year, and a lot of them that were on the kickoff coverage this year will probably be on it again next year, so they understand their angles and their lanes a lot better than they did going into this year. All right, so that was one area that we've got to improve on, and I see us improving on it. The next thing is, again, we started 7 sophomores on defense. Well, next year, if all of them hold their positions, there'll be 7 juniors over there, and there's a lot of difference between a junior and a sophomore. So, I'm excited about it because we're finally going to have a lot of juniors and seniors playing, and it just seems like for the last, few years that we've just had a lot of young kids. And now was having a lot of older ones right there. It makes it easier. And plus, these kids that we got that we're going to have, man, I have watched them and we have worked with them since they were 5 years old. So this crew of kids that we're fixing to have here, we've spent a lot of time with them, not just this year, but in a lot of years past.
We're going to meet some more of these fine young men from Walter Wellborn High School here on the set as we continue here with the Panther Pride Show on TV 24. All right. Oh, we didn't. Didn't even do it. Okay. We'll make that up in segment 5. How much time do we have
I think
left?
Evan's got his voice will
Okay,
carry.
we're good.
Yeah, Evan, you don't have to mic Evan. You can hear Evan pretty good.
That way you can talk louder.
Yeah, he can. He'll do it.
They'll pick you up on their mics. I just really like the shirt up here.
Coach, we forgot the player awards. That's my fault. We'll do it in this last segment. We'll come back and get it. All right, so Jeff, what we got going on here? We got you're going to mic up 2 of these guys. 3. Which one's not going to be?
He's not gonna be mine.
Okay, we'll put him next to me.
Well, he'll stand right here.
Okay.
He's talking across.
Evan,
Okay,
you know
I
the
got
mic,
you.
are
Okay, I got you.
On my phone.
But he's going to be on the end.
He can go right there.
All right, Coach, tell me who I got here.
All right.
Who's going to stand next to me?
Taekwon getting this, Mr. Over there and stuff. All right, this is
Go on.
Taekwon Thomas. He plays defense.
Taekwon Thomas. All right, come on in.
All right, and this is Evan Beatles.
Evan?
So
Evan's going to be on the end, I think.
Okay. Chase Carroll. Come on over there,
Chase
Chase.
Carroll.
And this is
Okay.
Keegan Pritchett.
Keegan Pritchett.
All right. Taekwon plays defensive back and wing back for us.
Okay.
Chase plays defensive back and receiver for us. Keegan's a defensive tackle. Evan plays defensive back and receiver.
Right here.
Try to tuck that wire into your pants right there, Taekwon, so it don't show. Now y'all gonna see yourself on that screen right there in front. Like you're gonna see yourself on this screen. Don't look at that.
Yeah.
Either look at Mr. Holder
Yeah,
or
just
you're
look at me.
gonna look right
Yeah.
there, okay?
All right, Taekwon Thomas. Make sure I got names right here. Make sure I got Taekwon Thomas, right?
Yes, sir.
Evan Beatles, okay. Chase Carroll,
Right.
that's Chase, and Keegan Pritchett. Keegan Pritchett. All right, I think I got this. Let's see.
And Taekwon's a sophomore, and Chase and Keegan and Evan are all 3 juniors.
Okay, 3 juniors and a sophomore.
Yes.
Okay. I'll probably start with you, and we'll just go.
Count to 10.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
That's good. You next.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Go ahead and do it. Don't let the 12 do it. See if you can pick him up on
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
the. Here.
think too, if he'll when you're talking, if he'll face this way, he'll probably he'll get those there. Okay. Okay. And before we get started here, guys, this is so easy. I'm telling you, if I can get up here and do this, anybody can get up here and do this. This is nothing to be nervous about. It's just the four of us talking. You know, there's nobody. This is not live or anything like that. Nobody here except just us here in the studio. So we're just gonna talk a little football. Anything y'all want to talk about? Any girlfriends you need to say hi to? Anything like that?
No.
Anything? Nothing. Okay. All right. Easy stuff. I promise. Matter of fact, we'll be done with this. You'll be going, God, that's easy. You might do that.
This is my favorite part of it.
Yeah, that's always my favorite when we get to play.
Means I'm a big body. You
Okay.
gotta remember that.
Let me make sure Jeff's ready. He's going. He says he's ready. Okay.
5, 4, 3.
Back on the Panther Pride Show, as promised, we're going to bring you some of these fine young men from Walter Welborn High School. Only 3 seniors. You met them earlier in the year, so we've got all these guys are underclassmen. Got 3 juniors and a sophomore here on this Walter Welborn team. And we'll begin with a sophomore, Taekwon Thomas. Taekwon, welcome in. Glad to have you with us. And just tell us about the season so far. You're one of those, that 10th grade class that everybody talks about at Welborn. You got that class has kind of a reputation not only at Welborn but around the county as being one of the more talented sophomore classes that's been through here in a long time. Tell us about that.
Like you said, we got a lot of, sophomores. And, we've been winning a lot of games and stuff. I think we're gonna have a good team next year.
Your class has always been winners all the way through. Is that right?
Yes.
I've heard stories about you guys for a lot of years.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go over here. Chase Carroll's next. Chase, this is one of our 3 juniors now that we have coming in. And one of the things we haven't talked about, we talk so much about this sophomore class, but your class will be seniors next year. 15 of you guys, is that right?
I think 14.
14
Yes,
of you guys will be back next year. So the excitement level now of having finally a big senior class and then a big junior class behind you, just tell us about that.
Well, like Coach said, in the past couple of years, it's barely been any seniors, and now it's our time to step into that leadership role and take control of the team, and win this next season. So,
A lot of excitement going into the off season.
yes, sir. We're all ready to put in the work and come back next season and be ready to play.
All right, now we got one of our big defensive linemen here. These guys are kind of backs and so forth. You can tell by the numbers 12 and 22 and 2, but we got big number 70 over there, Keegan Pritchett. And this team this year, you had a lot of adversity from time to time. You had a lot of success from time to time. 5-5 record kind of reflects that. You had some good wins, had some tough losses along the way. But the resiliency of this team, to me, it was a typical Welborn team in the fact that no quit, fighting to the end, just like in the Piedmont game. Speak about that a bit.
Well, we got a young team, but we've always, as long as we've been with Coach Smith, he's always told us never quit. Always, got to be tough, have class. And it's just kind of like we always look at it at each other as we outwork the opponent. We've always worked harder than they do, and we don't quit.
Absolutely.
We just don't quit.
We saw that, I think, each and every week here on the Panther Pride Show. Finally, on the end over there, we don't actually have a mic on him because we understand he's got a big, booming, deep voice. So we're going to count on Evan Beatles over here to use that voice a little bit. And just the entire season so far, Coach Smith was talking earlier about what a joy it had been to coach you guys. Very coachable team, and how the entire school this year has just been a really good school year so far. Just tell us a little bit about just the attitude and the effort of this entire team this year.
Well, our attitude, it's been pretty good this year, but there's always stuff we can work on during the off season and stuff. So we're just going to come in next season and we're going to have to work, and we're just going to have to win.
Yeah, Coach talked about, and there's an old adage that says that the players take on the personality of their coach. And Coach Smith is known as a very competitive guy, a tough, hard-nosed guy, and a guy that loves football, no doubt about that. He and I were talking about that earlier, just the fact that trying to you want to get back out and play again. Now, it's going to be several months before you have a chance to do that as you get into spring practice. But is that the attitude of the team that, yeah, the season's over, but we're ready and raring to go and get next year going?
Yes.
Yes, sir. We're just gonna have to. We got to be tough when we play for Coach Smith. That's all he is just being tough. That's all he likes.
Well, it ought to be you had a season this year that was much improved over last year. Went from 2-8 to 5-5. Looking for big things from this Wellborn football team coming up next year with all you guys coming back. Thank you for being with us here on the Panther Pride Show. All right, when we come back, we're going to have our player awards. We'll meet with Coach Smith one more time, and we'll look ahead to 2019 as we wrap up the Panther Pride Show. Coach, this may have been the best group we had all year as far as speaking. They did a great job, man. I'm telling you. Very good. Very good. Thank you.
That's my favorite part.
Oh, I do. I love. I do too. That's what people want to see. I mean, they see me and you all the time, and then newspaper and stuff like that. They want to see the guys and put a face to a name to a voice. And
because they see them with the uniforms on,
yeah.
But they don't ever see them with their helmet on. They don't even know what
Yep.
they look like.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So they do.
Very good, very good. All right, Coach, we'll come back in and do the player awards, and then we'll do a just kind of looking ahead. We've talked about, kind of talked about the season. We'll kind of look ahead to what plans are for the off season, and then I think we got about 46-second rollout video of the season, of highlights of the entire season.
I tell you what, how good did Tony do this year?
Oh yeah, Tony's.
He's good.
Tony is one. I mean, talk about a tough son of a gun.
Yes, he is.
That guy's got. He can't even go through a metal detector in the airport. He's got so much metal, and he's got plates in his head. He's got. I mean, it's. Tony scares me though, because Tony doesn't know when to take a break and dial it down. I was doing sidelines at the Jack State game up there a few years ago, and it was playing Sam Houston or somebody, and it was a hot game. It was September, and it was burning up hot. It was about 105 on the field, and that's the closest I've ever seen anybody having a heat stroke. He almost had one.
Oh Lord.
He was, he just wouldn't. He finally just. I was scared to death. I didn't know what to do. They're bringing ice over there and pouring wet towels on them, doing everything they can to get him cooked. They had to take him to the hospital.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, had to get some fluid put in him.
Yeah, he was
Hey, y'all hold it down, quiet.
about to pass out.
Let's go.
Okay. Okay.
5, 4, 3.
Wrapping up the Panther Pride Show, not only for the week this week, but also for the season of 2018. And we don't want to go anywhere without the last week of player awards. Coach, you got some more player awards that we're going to name at this time.
Well, our scrambler was Dylan Gilbert, our racehorse was Calvin Spinks, and our pancake block was Dylan Gilbert. Headhunter was Jet. He had 15 tackles in this game. Going to the Big Hog, he was the best defensive line and linebacker performance. 12th man was Logan Hill, who blocked 2 extra points, and Kavion Wesley, who had those good kickoff returns. Hardest hit was Kentrez Hunt. He had a kick-out block in the second half that was great. Meanest Panther was Logan Hill, and then our offensive player of the week was Calvin. He had over 100 yards rushing, and Logan Hill had 10 tackles and 2 blocked extra points. He was our defensive player of the week.
As we look ahead now to the future of the 2019 season, the guys just talked about it. They're eager to get started, eager to go to work, eager to get in the weight room and so forth. Kind of take us through from now till, let's say, springtime.
Well, this week, I'm trying to let them heal up a little bit because, we did just get through a 10-week, football season, and they're going to have some bumps and bruises, and they need to get some heal-up time. And then we'll start up around November 1st. We'll go back, take them back in there and max them out on the weights. And then as each day goes, we'll start increasing it more than what we do in the weight room with them. And then we have our kids that play basketball and wrestle. They'll go into that and start doing that in the afternoons. And the ones that don't, we'll start trying to work on a little speed training with them till we get to Christmas. And then when we come back for Christmas, we'll lose our baseball players. And then we'll do our junior high spring training. And then after that, we'll be in track season. And after track, then we'll be in the spring training. And then we'll be back in the summer and ready to go again.
Used to be in the old days that spring training was in May, could be in April, could be, you had a kind of a choice there a few years ago, but now you still do, but most folks now, May has become kind of spring training time. So kind of, what's your view on spring training, spring football?
I wish we did it like we did in the older days. I wish we did, like say the first couple of weeks of February, we had spring training then, and then we'd had spring training out of the way, and if we had any injuries, they got time to heal up before the school year ends, and plus then we know who our team is, and then we can focus on them and getting them bigger and faster before the end of the year. But just the way the sports calendar is now, it's just hard to get that in. I wish we would just have 2 weeks that right after basketball season, regular season ended, we'd just take 2 weeks and have our spring training then. And then if you're in the playoffs for basketball, well, you just don't have those basketball players till they finish up, and you can go ahead and have spring training with everybody else. But just, they don't ask my opinion on it. But I wish we still did it a little earlier than we do now.
It will be an exciting offseason. You're going to hear a lot about Walter Welborn in the offseason, and we'll be back here next year with the Panther Pride Show here on TV 24. Coach, I have enjoyed it.
I have too.
Been a pleasure to be here with you every week to look at Walter Welborn High School football, and we've got to review some of the great plays of the season of 2018 as we leave you here on the Panther Pride Show.